the yuppies going to continue to have their BMWs and their rich people only clothing and stores selling ultra overpriced junk, so there's no reason for poor people to be walking around their neighborhoods and they can wear that and everyone be like, oh, that's a BMW, oh, they're rich, and attract all the 14-year-old boys into their car without buying candy. How's that lifestyle gonna remain prevalent if their economy of taking tribute from other nations and bombing them, if they don't pay tribute and worship them, is being destabilized as we speak. The ongoing destabilization. Right now, it's the first war ever in America's history that they've had to fight covertly because they're scared of the other nations thinking that they're still going to war. So it's the last war, apparently, too, because it makes no sense when you're a bully. I've never heard of these bully tactics before. I don't think they work for bullies. Where's that money going to come from? Well, probably the same thing that's been written for hundreds of years happens. Same stuff I said 10 years ago they're going to start doing. Same stuff they are doing. They got that 20% tax. They don't make any goods here in USA, and no one would buy them if they did. And because they wouldn't work right. And they'd just be scamming you. It'd be fake junk. It'd be the real Chinese crap. But, okay, so now they've got taxes they're placing. Like all the rich yuppies have these taxes they place so you can purchase stuff from people in the world who make stuff of value. Now, when you buy something from China, you pay a 20% tax just for the graciousness of ultra-rich yuppies to allow you to breathe air and buy a product. Now they get 20%. The government gets 20% to go straight to the richies' pockets. And God's chosen richies in the government themselves, obviously, are going to get the majority of that. But like Jeffrey Epstein's Lex Wexner, New Albany down here, I mean, that city itself gets a lot of that money, apparently. I mean, they are the government. God chose them to rape children, apparently. That's what they said. The online prostitution is pretty much the only service USA offers the world. And they did start coming after that about 2 years ago. Trying to make them pay taxes. So I guess what their largest chunk of the economy is going to be robbing each other through taxes and scam goods. Hidden taxes called tariffs, and then taxing prostitution, since you just look online, you see a lot of them are involved in prostitution. It's a service industry. America's a service industry. Now, they've always said that, but they've always, they always hush. They're a freedom and democracy industry. What that really means is it's a tribute industry, and they go around telling people God chose them to enslave and kill them, and if they choose to worship their God, then they won't kill them and enslave them like they did their parents, and then they pay them tribute. So it's a tribute industry. They've had this going on several other times in the world's history. They were Rome. Obviously, Italians are not 8 foot tall, blonde hair, blue eyed people. They are generally about 5'6". pale skin, gray skins with a lot of time they got curly black afros and black eyes. So this same thing happened when these same characters in the past had run another empire. They had to turn it into a servicing industry, a servicing nation once everyone in the world got tired of them running around, killing them and forcing them to pay tribute to them as gods. And that's when they had to change their religion name for like the third, fourth time in history. Because it wasn't cool no more to be worshiping Italians. So they had to change the name from Roman to Italian, and Greek mythology to Christianity. And yep, so there we are here. We're about 2,000 years after the Roman Empire shed its snakeskin. And it's collapsing again. You got, people fighting back, but the other thing is the ultra rich, the people that the people of the West worship who might not have been them. They tell me everyone's not them, but literally I've been to cities here where I don't see anyone else but them, and they don't necessarily put those cities in your videos either. And I think that's similar to the Roman thing, where all the videos in 1980 in the books pictured Romans as 9 foot tall, blonde haired, blue eyed people. And the only thing we really have of their statue is there's some bug eyed, curly haired motherfuckers for the most part. And bug eye shit, pay attention here. There's a lesson to be learned about aliens and why. I mean, even they run their mouth that the aliens have bug eyes. Fucking, they themselves talk about that. But we see the other nations still have this, okay? So the people at the top, like Kissinger and the rest of God's chosen people, RT praises, and RT is, Russia is putting an end to the Rome 5.0, wherever it came from, obviously they were the Pharisees and Sadducees. It's like when you fucking see snake skin shed somewhere, a snake was in that area at one point in time. Fucking same patterns, little slithery patterns in the sand. The snake was there, and the snake's gonna fucking lie, so whatever it says, you just assume the opposite. And we're gonna assume, Rome was Rome 3.0. And probably started when they were enslaving people in Egypt and Africa. And, the first time they enslaved people in Africa, because obviously they brought them over here on boats to sell like they did in the Irish and stuff. Like they tried to do everyone else. But you can see that they're going to be fine, because Russia, is worshiping Kissinger and calling him like a hero, as USA does. And calling the stars of friends, Elon Musk, Donald Trump. I mean, Russia can't even keep its shit together, because it's like trying to praise them constantly, and every now and then it has to be like, oh, Elon Musk said the total opposite. Donald Trump is clearly working for the bad guys, and you can tell all the people in the comments understand. And Russia will ban you if you get too in the obvious. I mean, it's almost like Mikhail Lesin, the inventor of RT, was one of them. Oh boy, I didn't say that 100 times in the documentaries and videos I've made over the past 10 years, showing pictures of who he is, and obviously. So, they're going to be just fine. Their people have been fine. since they probably pulled the plug on the Egyptian colony. I doubt the world was evolved enough to have empires at that point. But they've been, you know, if I'm correct on this, they've been in control. They've definitely been in control since 2000 BC. I mean, they're so in control that the timeline, they literally changed time to add their racial supremacy to the words time, BC and AD and all that. Obviously they've been in control for 2,000 years, so that means they've been the Roman Empire, or they were there at the end of the Roman Empire, and then they went on to be the UK Empire, and it looked like they allowed Germany, they led Germany for a minute there. It looks like just to destroy it though. Maybe Germany was getting too big on their own. And so they had to have Zelensky do that. And it's like, look, you see, shit, they are Zelensky too. So they're definitely working to make sure that USA isn't their main tribute-taking nation and stuff anymore. Chinese have done some moves that have definitely not allowed them their racial supremacy to take over, and they spend a lot of time, you know, the Opium Wars, actually. Parts of those agreements included missionaries. It was so important to China to keep racial supremacists from other nations out of their nations, that like entire wars were waged over keeping their people out of their spread I'm better than you, worship my race doctrines from their nation. Like probably the pagans probably tried to do, but were slaughtered because they were up against people who had spent thousands of years building several empires of racial supremacy to conquer the world. So, you know, probably living out in the cold most of their lives, not too much time. You don't have too much time to advance when you spend half your life hiding indoors because it's winter and you'll die if you go outside. Things like that. You don't get very far when you have to wear three outfits, 3 layers of clothes, take them off every freaking day. I noticed that. I hate fucking cold climates. Such a waste of life to live in one. You can't get anything done while you're worried about walking through 5 feet of snow. Not to mention it takes like a lot longer to walk through a couple feet of snow than it does to just prance on down the block any other time. Your car gets wrecked by it, your car gets stuck, your car becomes useless by it. The clothing alone pisses me off. It's like half of my day. I don't even want to just fucking hibernate the whole winter. What a waste of life that is, to exist and fucking have to spend all day playing dress up like I'm fucking playing with Barbie dolls or some shit, and just to go outside and fucking get something to drink or eat. Fuck. Yeah, anyways, okay, so off topic, kinda, not really. I could turn this into like, 90-hour freaking documentary on the way these empire things go, and I've already done this in the past, I'm sure anyways. It's all like so much stuff is happening, it's written, I swear, it's like a plot line laying out. There's no fucking way people could be that good at being evil and so fucking stupid to just do the same fucking thing they've written down themselves. They've written down, just because they blame someone else for it, they wrote it down themselves. Fucking that shit's already written down, and it's happening, right? I mean, obvious it's going to happen in ways like that. That happened in Rome, you know, they all turned to service prostitutes for all the slave nations, and then now, I would say Rome's gone, but it's not. People still worship Italy. And so you just ignore the fact that Italy's in Rome, and it's that simple of a mind control game that people still worship Rome. They still fucking worship. They're all over the fucking TV. They've been fucking running the nation forever. The fucking mafia. They're considered gods and shit. If you don't like the system, fucking Italians are still considered, even if you don't want to worship Christianity or Catholicism or Satanism or atheism or any of their other religions, shit, you're probably one of those people who fucking doesn't like the system and you like the mafia, so you're still worshiping fucking Italy. You're still worshiping Rome and shit. There's even good things they might have done. People like Jimmy Hoffa and people like Frank Sinatra. You know, people like the mob. People like some of the shit those people have done and stuff. Fucking. So what's going to happen to the real rich at the top? Probably nothing. They're already being worshipped by Russia. The only problem here is little conflicting things. I'm sure if you got a brain, you realize don't store your money in other nations unless it's like a tax haven place. And oops, the tax haven place. I accidentally said some words recently that doesn't sound too positive. I'm sure they got some meetings there in the old Swiss area. I mean, it was over a meeting. They were telling certain people they didn't want certain people staying at their places because they were messing it up. I'm sure they they had some visits from unknown strangers popping in little sentences here and there about maybe we shouldn't talk about things like that and act that way. And possible that happens in this world. Highly possible that happens if you're trying to go somewhere that you meet people when you go somewhere. So yes, pass coincidentally intersect in this world. Everyone tells you that, and it does. The coincidence. So those people are probably not smart enough. But okay, so another thing is they're seizing assets of other nations, like, right? And it's hard to tell. Like I said before, it's hard to tell if these people do this because they're just ignorant as fuck. They don't know when to stop doing what they're doing, and it's just their DNA is just fucking hardwired to be scrubs. But it could also be that they're doing that to destroy the nation further, because once you fucking start seizing assets of another country, every country is going to fucking pull their assets from you. And every country is going to view that as very negative. And if you do that during a time where it's first time in your country's history that you've been invaded and you're doing absolutely nothing because you're fucking scared shitless, that like compounds how bad that looks in every other nation. They're like, oh shit, people are invading them fucking and taking their shit back, and they're trying to take the last of our shit that we have in their fucking nations from them. Huh. Pretty simple right there, especially when you got nations who are, some of them for thousands of years have been waiting for the right opportunity to strike back. Like there's been the opium wars on China, so China's been pretty solidified most of its existence for the past few thousand years, and they are highly fucking aware that they are in a multi-thousand-year war against this empire. And many of the other places are probably little loose-knit places that have been robbed and destabilized over and over. If I can control a little block, and I just don't care about those people, any second they get out of hand, and just fucking go down the street, lay waste to them, hire some stranger to lay waste to them, destabilize them, and they're never going to grow beyond a block. You just keep them the size of a block. But China is one of the places that grew to be a large fucking mass and a large fucking network. Other places have had a lot of fucking destabilization. I'm sure India has, because India's like right there beside God's chosenest of the chosen lands. You know, all land, all earth, all air, all sites are God's chosen, apparently. But India's right beside this place that they're always fighting for. So they've probably been destabilized just as much as Gaza, just as much as Palestine, but in different ways and stuff. And obviously, you got Egypt, like right there, right beside God's chosen land. I mean, hell, dude. They walked 1 million miles and lost in the desert. And then the next empire just happens to be building up right there to the north of it. Yeah. They got lost in the desert and found Palestine. Fuck. Anyways, yeah, so those people see that. Another thing they're doing is they're fucking looting other nations, like, and I'm sure China's always known that this is going to happen, but, you know, China buys like billions or trillions, I guess they probably got something like $36 trillion of American IOUs, which came down to a point like 4 years ago. They were going to produce the Federal Reserve, Janet Yellen is going to produce a $1 trillion coin to give to China so they can give them a $1 trillion loan. Because Janet Yellen's so smart. And you would just have to be the dumbest Asian person on the planet to think that there's $1 trillion coin. I could probably scam some people out here, but I don't think I could go to China and be like, hey, I got $1 trillion coin. Give me $1 trillion. You can have it. Look how shiny it is. We just made it yesterday. There's only one. There's only one in print right now. We'll make a few more for you, but we won't make too many. We promise only 300 or 500 over the next 6 to 36 months of quantitative easing. So I guess China's going to be stuck with $1 trillion, like $36 trillion coins, like almost a quarter roll. I think there's 40. Am I right? Is it 20 or 40? And a $10 roll of quarters is 40. Yeah, I was right the first time. And almost enough $1 trillion coins to fill a $10 roll of quarters. China is going to be so happy about that. And now, one thing they have been talking about here, though, is China. They're saying China. China owns ports. China owns companies. China owns Chinese people own real estate. Well, I mean, look what they're doing to Russia. They're fucking just stealing all their money out of the bank. I'm pretty sure they're eyeing any Russians' houses or businesses in the USA. And they have them all filling out that form, too. So they can just run to their database, type search real fast. Nationality of person who owns nation, Russian. and go seize those companies, be it a little corner market or whatever, meat market. I'm surprised they haven't done that to Palestinians. I wouldn't doubt that they do play games. There's a hell of a lot of games going on. There's like, what, billions of them on this planet. So they got, and their entire existence seems to be a genetic disposition to fucking playing games with and enslaving and terrorizing fucking people. So they probably already are doing that to fucking everyone on many fucking levels. Like I said, long before I got involved in this stuff, once I started getting involved in shit, noticing little things definitely weren't accidents. Those little accidents were fucking happening long before I knew anything or cared or thought you could change. And back when I fucking thought I would have been on these people's fucking side and shit even. Fucking, you know, because you listen to so much of what they fucking say, and now you're fucking across seas dying to steal land for them. You know, there's people more brainwashed than fucking me and shit. There's people to the point where if you even fucking say something about it, they're gonna kill you. And they might not even be related to these people at all. Fuck, dude. But that's another thing they're doing. They're doing the stealing and the robbing of other nations' assets. And that's not going to work. I mean, all these things. Why are they doing it? Are they doing it purposefully to collapse? Like, that's going to cause some real fucking hatred and shit. Like people are born knowing they're fucking slaves. There's not too many people who are like in an enclave somewhere. I don't think I've ever met a fucking single one, maybe until 2020. And the internet might be censoring me and keep me away from those people, because when I was traveling, I noticed I was meeting people on social media who were those type of people. But as far as I knew, they had never existed on social media. Hell, as far as I knew, black people didn't exist on social media till about 2008 or 2013. I looked up my one friend and I was like, oh, well, yeah, he's not on the internet. He's probably fucking out wandering the streets or some shit. Like, ghetto people who don't know about computers and internet. And then all of a sudden one day, I got a black friend added on the internet. That wasn't even a person I know, it's just a rapper. And all of a sudden my feed has a bunch in it. So it's like, damn, I'm entirely separated. But the other people, the anti-government people, fucking, it never changed. Only when I was around certain people, and for a short period, did I see these things. And it could be because I was directly like searching for certain things. Like I would find a flyer or something laying around, or I get notified by like an underground group or something that this is happening. And again, I didn't know about the underground groups either. Like they're pretty much the same thing, but they're trying to stay underground. You know what I'm saying? They're trying not to be seen. But the people on Facebook exist. I just don't get fed them. For some reason, real controlled place that is. And so, we already look at the other nations already have these problems. I mean, this nation is obviously the largest problem of wealth, inequality, but the other nations have it too. So they can just go over there and, you know, wear their fucking Guess jeans and Armani clothing and driving BMWs and just throw ice cream at the poor people as they drive by, and I don't think they'll care. Hell, from what they say, if I lived in China and I was rich, if I drove by and threw ice cream at poor people, I'd get like my credit score, my social credit score would go up. And if they got hit by the ice cream, my social credit score would go down. You know, like if I got hit by the ice cream, according to them, that's how it works. As if there's no social credit score here, Because I can clearly see my comments fucking being removed as soon as I replace them on Nazi Westnet. But the good thing is these are the times where people can band together and eliminate this global threat once and for all. And they know that too. That's why every event I go to, if someone asks me to go with me, they look exactly like them. That's why they've been showing up in my life for so long. I don't know how they know to do that. Maybe they're just in everyone's life. Maybe they see my test scores. I'm not sure exactly how that starts there, but I definitely have seen them in other people's lives. Then again, that person's like a doctor now, so it's like they could have seen their test scores and fucking been up in their life, and because of that, you know, trying to like kill the best people in a nation in order to keep that block under control and from going anywhere. Definitely a pattern everyone talks about them doing. Just no one really talks about how deep and how it's even possible that they could be stalking us from our births and stuff. What technology or whatever they must be using, or fucking bot characters in a game playing out a script. Too dumb to realize where it ends for them. Not too sure. It's obviously one of those two things. Either they're using advanced tech or they're being set up for an advanced failure and stuff by something unseen. Could be God. Maybe it's God. God's setting them up for failure. So they even put that word out there. Anyways, so you have that. You have the money thing. They're robbing from Russia. They're not going to be able to rob other nations too long. They've already robbed pretty much every nation except for Russia and China. And I'm pretty sure with China, what they mostly done is just tell them, oh, we owe you a few $1 trillion, just give us some gold bars or something like that. And they're like, oh yeah, probably out of fear, you know, that they're not ready to be invaded just yet. They need a few more years to advance. Over the past couple decades, they probably did. Just be like, oh, okay. You know, I'm sure they're so stupid. They're like, oh yeah, pale skin fucking who just bombed and enslaved us during the Opium Wars. They want to borrow gold from us. I'm sure they'll pay us back. I mean, goddamn. Is everyone on the planet a failure? I doubt that. I mean, I really doubt anyone in their government was like, you know, that's a good idea. Let's just give them money. Give them money. And I'm sure the discussion went, you know, we should give them money and act friendly with them. Because if we don't, they're going to try to bomb us like they are. Like they already are in Vietnam, right outside our borders, trying to encircle us. That just acts stupid. I swear, maybe they're just better at it. Maybe they're just playing the same game, but better at it. That is one way to play this game against them and shit, is to... I could have shut up. I could have played the game way better, but I don't have time for that. It's stupid anyways. I'm already surrounded by them too, so it's not like I even have a defensive area. I fucking can build a city and nation up to defend from bombardment. So, no point in that fucking method. Plus, I didn't know how fucking extreme it was when I got involved. Even though everyone warned me, I laughed at it. Fucking... yeah, so those are the three things, and so the rich people at the top are going to remain rich because they're being worshipped. The evil people who are controlling this place are being worshipped in some instances. Asia fights that racial supremacy, religion stuff. In some places, though, they're praising the people who use this nation to go do that shit, like Russian media praising Kissinger, who was bombing the Middle East, and then Russia acts like it's against bombing the Middle East. I swear it's the same people. It's just the Bolsheviks fucking manipulating, and they're probably just trying to cleanse fucking Ukraine of any Europeans to make it Khazaria again. I mean, they're literally using the Khazarian flag. He admits he's God's chosen. He literally uses the words, I'm God's chosen, on top of earlier admissions. And so I guess they get to keep driving the BMWs and fucking their jacked up garbage as long as people allow them to control the internet and the governments and the media. If we get rid of their internets, it's real simple, except for the fact that they always need to be a part of your group in order to wreck it. They have to be part of Black Lives. They have to lead Black Lives Matters, even though they aren't even black. They have to, they're promoting the anti-Asian hate thing while they are the government who is trying to destroy China through all sorts of nefarious methods. Obviously, and it's the New York Asians Fest. It's like, well, who owns New York? Well, it's Israel. That's their capital. That's the real capital. Israel ain't their capital. New York's their real capital. And it's like Hollywood. LA is like the second capital. And I guess Italy is probably the third populated capital. Rome, Vatican, all that stuff. Israel, maybe they want it to be their main one, but it's not right now. Without the help of New York and Hollywood, in LA, Hollywood, and they wouldn't even have a foothold in Israel right now. And also, I think got a lot of help from the Bolshevik slaughter and their Nazi takeover of Germany, helping destabilize countries going places with a lot of, they're supposedly advanced and stuff, a lot of advancements. Anyways, yeah, so that's pretty much it. That probably won't change. I mean, people talk about how expensive stuff is, but I don't see really the rich getting poorer out here. I see more supercars out here than I've ever seen in my city. Maybe that's because now I live on a hidden richie area, which people who own ranches and stuff might actually be richer than people who want to live in rich suburbs, except for that one rich suburb is Jeffrey Epstein, Lex Wexner, Victoria's Secrets, all that shit. So that one is rich. But I also always assume that really, really rich people don't waste their money on $300,000 Lamborghinis, right? Or $2 million Mustangs, because they invest their money in war and stuff like that to make more money. You invest your money in a supercar, then you're probably poor. You only got $300,000. You get your own private jet if you're rich. Yeah, so I still see that out here. Lots of fancy, rich, souped up Lambos and Corvettes. So that's still happening. And I still see these richie places selling their stuff, although I do see Express dying. But I mean, they have to back off of all their shit, right? Jeffrey Epstein's crew has to back off because they got caught with their fingers in the baby cookie jars. And but that's not like a thing. It's not really a thing just for one of the rich oligarchs to have to back off when the whole city is filled with them. And even the middle class and the poor areas seem to be littered with their own people and stuff willing to support them. So I don't know, will it change anything? Will them having their golden spoon taken out their mouth change it, or do they have a whole fucking drawer full of gold and silverware in case they've ever dropped their golden spoon before? It looks to me like there's really no nation who attempts and becomes successful at helping their people rather than helping rich oligarchs and the upper class. I mean, even in this place, they're running pro middle class propaganda, and who's running that shit? It's them. So obviously they want those people to think they're part of the rich, and or think they're poor. They want those people to think they're poor, when in reality, like, there's really only one class of rich above that, and that's probably the oligarchs and shit. Fucking there's not too many pop stars out there, right? That would be like rich people who aren't oligarchs and stuff. There's not too many people inventing things. I don't think Elon Musk got his stuff from inventing it. I mean, he's one of them automatically. Dude, he's like the world's richest person. Like, and I guarantee you, like, people siding with him be like, oh, he's one of us. He's middle class and stuff. Fucking like, yeah, okay. But it's like Alex Jones, you know, a lying scumbag who promotes the idea that 1,000 dumbasses could invade the Capitol and change something, so they can all be fucking put on blacklist and everyone around them interrogated, investigated, and dismantled. Everything Alex Jones ever worked for, he fucking dismantled it in one fucking move. Everything the Trump fucking campaign was about. Anyone willing to do anything and believe anything they say at the same time just fucking were taken out of the fucking equation on that invasion day. The dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. And that's the dude telling you that the middle class are part of the poor people, and you know, like pushing that as talking points. And pretty much every time they're pushing a talking point, it's got an agenda behind it and shit. Like mine. Like, why would I waste time talking about this? Did I make it very fucking clear what my agenda is? I fucking, well, sometimes I can't tell you because I don't own the fucking media and I don't have fucking human rights. So I don't have freedom of speech. I don't live in a free country like some Narnia. There was once this book called Narnia, C.S. Lewis, and it was a magical land far away where people had freedom of speech. I can't tell you, but it should be pretty fucking obvious. The point pointing out that there's a bunch of fucking upper class fucking yups robbing and enslaving the fucking world and shit. I'm definitely not calling to sit down with them and have tea time. I'm definitely not calling to discuss with them. All they're gonna do is lie. I mean, yeah, I'm telling you, let's bring in certain clones. We can bring in certain clones for interrogation, figure out who they are and what they come from. It's an entirely different discussion. Now, the Richies, I don't think it's gonna fuck with your heart if you talk with these people, because they've been manipulating. They're born with the genetic defect of superior manipulation. I mean, it's probably actually like a skilled design, you know, designed to fail. But they're just that good. You wouldn't want to sit down and talk with these fuckers and shit. And besides, they wouldn't take the time to sit down and talk. Fucking, when we confront them, they don't like to fucking talk very much anyways. But yeah, there we go. they can only steal so many assets from Russia and China because they can't actually go over there and steal anything from them like they could everyone else. So this last seizure of shit, it's like, it's more like, I mean, are they smart enough to realize that that means they're dead? Like, their empire's dead? I mean, that's clearly why they've been using this empire to build and steal more lands in the Middle East and try to build, like, the world's safest fortress in the Middle East and stuff. And right back against the ocean, too. As if they would actually believe in the gods that they tell people to believe in, so people worship them. If they would actually believe in those gods, that water would look pretty dangerous to me and stuff. But I don't know. They've got, like, probably the best weapons defense systems out there. No small thanks to USA. Probably entirely built. I did read that at one point, but it's hard to tell because they claim everything is theirs eventually, and they claim they've done everything on the planet. So, will that work for them? I mean, in their stories, that works for them, right? In their stories, they go there. But if I remember right, when I was a kid, the stories I was told, that place gets destroyed because bad people try to take it before it's time for them to have it. And nowadays, everyone is trying to tell me that theology says that point in time, it already passed, or it doesn't say that. And I was like, dude, like, I paid attention to shit when I was a kid. So it's weird how certain things can change in the world, but I don't see the point. I had to come on this rant because I fucking seen some shit being sold at Macy's online for like $300, and I didn't know it was like originally $300 because it was being sold for $31 at this website, and I was like, this is trash for $31. Don't buy it. There's 2 non-rotating wheels. You need 4 rotating wheels for this. And then someone else is like, yeah, this is originally like $300, so this is a good deal. Like, look at the reviews. Like, there's a couple bad reviews for the $300 one, and I'm like, no, this is trash all around. These people doing the reviews, they're garbage. These are probably fake reviews. These people don't use the crap or something. Fake reviews. Some $10 item at one of these rich Macy's stores for $300, and then someone brought up, don't buy this, it's that cheap Chinese crap. It's like, that's the highest quality of crap you're going to get in America. That's sold at fucking upscale yuppie stores. Fucking, not really. I mean, I'd buy Steve Madden. I'd buy actual designer shit before I bought some Macy's stuff. Macy's is definitely the BMW of rich people. You just buy it. It's like, that way poor people can be like, don't come near me. You just looked at my Macy's clothes. Now I've got to wash them. Ew. Get away, homeless person. What are you doing in my country? Go back to Africa. I swear that's all some of these things are for and shit. Is it ever going to change? Is it ever going to change? Fucking, because they're fucking rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic out here and the global scheme. Is anything going to change? Is it going to get worse? Supposedly prices have increased a little bit. They can't do it too much because people, if they give people a reason to get up off their house and stop watching TV and actually could go out and complain about prices of shit, they have fucking a lot of people. A lot of fucking people to deal with. And the first time they come out there and deal with a group of people with military force, they're going to have even more people. And those original people are going to come out armed to the fucking teeth and shit. So they can't do too much, but they're doing a lot. obviously, because they're allowing and promoting the war. You know, they got the whole change since 2020 happening, but they're not worried at all. I got banned for replying. I didn't get banned, but they blocked my comment at the shopping website when I was replying to other shoppers about how garbage this, about this is all garbage, and what you're talking about is garbage too. It's like, it's not gonna change for the better if they're allowed to retain control of the internet. I don't think we're allowed. We need to have their internet at all. We need to destroy all current technology that exists, because it's Israeli. They're telling us it's China, and Google, Facebook, USA is Israel. They're not China. They hate Chinese people. The only thing they like Chinese for is using them as a scapegoat for what they do. And it's not going to change until we get rid of it. We're just going to have to get rid of all of it. We're going to have to rebuild it from fucking scratch. All the technology. No more Intel. No more trust in AMD either. No more trust in Google. No more trust in Facebook. No more trust in PayPal. No more trust in the Federal Reserve. No more trust in anything. You don't know where they might have installed a backdoor. You let me know. You go ahead and post a video and let the whole world know how you have reverse engineered an AMD CPU, or even reverse engineered a modern motherboard, which, shit, I'll give you a break. Reverse engineer a motherboard from 10 years ago, because you definitely ain't doing a modern one. And tell me everything that's going on in that processing unit. Tell me everything that's going on in your Windows operating system. Tell me everything that's going on. You even go to MicrosoftWindows.com and you have the Microsoft people pretty much attacking Microsoft users. The people who work for Microsoft at the Microsoft website pretty much tell you to go screw yourself. You have no rights. They say, it's our software, we do what we want. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it. And it's like, well, if you don't like freedom, you don't have to be in America. If you don't like not being richy fucking yuppie scum, enslaving and robbing the planet, genocide and terrorizing it, and you don't have to be on Earth if you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all a problem. There's no one fucking knows what Windows is doing, but they're nefarious. You can tell by their actions, because they get all scared when you start questioning the employees, the people who work at the damn website. And if Bill Gates wasn't some evil monster mob boss, he would be fucking firing people who act like that. If you have a corporation down here, you own a pizza joint, and your fucking employee fucking starts, you're like, what type of pepperoni is it? Is it real salty? And you're like, you know what? It doesn't matter if it's salty. Do you want pepperoni or not? Because that's what we have, is pepperoni. If you don't want pepperoni, then you don't have to get it. You're gone. You're gone the first second that happened. They're fucking hiding shit. They're all fucking hiding shit. And it does no good, like, just letting them slither off, letting them destroy USA, fucking thinking that we're going to have a fucking way in against them as it collapses and runs into chaos and shit. Because most of the world's already on board with worshiping them in some form. I might assume China's not, but Zuckerberg married Chinese. And all I've heard of Chinese so far, if they really thought that was bad, they would have executed her family before they could have even had kids. And they haven't done that, so to me that's kind of suspicious, but that's me also buying into USA's anti-Asian hype of how Asians are expected to act. And, I mean, I would have done that defensively, like, seeing what's going on. I'd be like, yeah, you know, you're Chinese. I would at least be like, you know, your Chinese citizen is revoked for your entire family if you're marrying into their bloodlines, right? Like you're literally marrying into the top 5 evil of the pyramid and stuff. Fucking, and they let it go on without anything fucking happening. Fucking, so I'm suspect of that too, even though they keep their racial religions out of their nation and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna take what? You go into the street, every time I go into the street, they're out there in the street too. You can't, you're gonna walk right into Zuckerberg's house and take all his shit with fucking Zuckerberg's cousin right beside you and give half Zuckerberg's shit to Zuckerberg's cousin. Where's that gonna get anyone? You're gonna fucking take Microsoft and fucking Facebook and all that from those people, and with the help of their brothers and sisters, and then give half of it back to their family. Where does that leave us? What are the options here? Not very, I mean, there is no option, right? Like, self-sacrifice, because the vagina people have overpopulated the planet. I have to use dumb, vague terms like self-sacrifice, but I'm not talking about the sacrifice they want. The sacrifice they want is when you're 8 years old, marrying them, or going to the back room and the bathroom with them for a few hours to spread the word about how great their people are and how God has given them the planet. That's the sacrifice they want. The sacrifice they want is you to be like, oh, Bill Gates, it's okay, we'll just forgive them. Forgive all them for robbing us and enslaving us and continuing to do it over and over and over and over and over, never changing. And that's a self-sacrifice. Literally, they push that in their racial religion for one slave group. They don't. For each group they've conquered, they've taken bits of their personality and mixed it into the new slave book for them, and it just happens to be, I guess, they conquered some semi-peaceful people at one point and told them, just don't worry about it, it'll all be good and stuff. Just do nothing except for serve us. Obviously, you've got to serve us, but just don't do anything about the evil we're doing in this world. And fuck, I don't know, dude. It's real fucked up, though. I bet if you've seen my videos when I go out, I have to fucking do those last-minute ambush things because I end up with someone beside me I don't trust in the shit. They're out there running Black Lives Matter as well. They're running the anti-Asian hate stuff on TV and the pro-Asian hate stuff on TV. Yeah, it's probably really simple. It probably really is just as simple as getting rid of all their tech and all their media outlets and all their schools and all their governments. It's just that simple. And all their corporations. And am I leaving anything out? Their tech, their media, their schools, their corporations, their government. That's only 5 things. You know, you're pretty simple.